Three, two, one. Alright everyone, hello, this is Blazing Nine here, and I am joined with the lunar tactician Silver Nightblade and his lovely wife Rosie, who also happens to be student of Princess Luna, aka my mother. Introduce yourself.
Well, I am Silver Nightblade, traveling tactician, as well as tactician to the glorious Lunar Guard. It's fantastic to meet all of you.
And I'm Night Rose, or as everyone just calls me, Rosie. I'm new to the whole kingdom, and I'm learning under Princess Luna, or Blaze's mother, and I have to deal with Silver all the time.
Love you too, honey.
Love you too, honey.
There's an echo right there. Also, we are actually a go because looks like it's recording you guys as well as myself. Because just to fill you guys in, apparently I was recording last time, and what happened was we got some good stuff. Only the problem is I only managed to record myself instead of them as well, and because I turned off the volume from inside the PC because I was mistaking it for when I play my game, because it'll pick up the music and audio from inside the game. So I just turned that off because I'm like, I'm not playing a game, so I don't need that. I'm like, oh crap, I did need that. So that's what happened. So we're gonna hopefully try to make up for that loss of material tonight, and I thought ahead this time because I prepared myself, made sure everyone knows that I'm recording late, and I'm good to go. Though it's pretty appropriate considering night.
Yeah, I just got up for my shift not too long ago.
It took him several hours to wake him up.
I usually just roll him off the bed. It usually works.
I don't.
New to that.
I hate when you roll me out of the bed. At least Rosie's gentle.
Well, I'm pretty small, so I have to use all of my Earth Pony strength.
All your Earth Pony strength doesn't require rolling me out of the bed and knocking me down.
Hey, Plan B was putting her on a sled and using the stairs.
Wait a minute, you have a sled.
Actually, there is.
I have a sled.
It's a big castle. There's gonna be some things that come in and out unintentionally. So, the topic we did last recording was communities, fan communities, basically, and all of the rage and hate of late, and everything's changing, and then most of the changes, basically, the community and the fan base and the player base have been asking for all the changes and for stuff to be easier and easier and easier, which is what they got, only then later on they miss the harder and harder and harder stuff that they had to work towards, and the communities that they have established, but the thing is, once you've given them all this stuff, once you take it away, it's gonna be just as bad. So there's no win-win with developers or so on, because people have been asking for all this from the start, which could possibly be for Blizzard saying you think you want the legacy servers, but you don't. But by the way, I just want to point out, I didn't say this the last recording, there is now a petition saying, I think one of the ex-employees of Blizzard, they think they worked back in the start of World of Warcraft, and he's saying if they get enough signatures on it, and they'll turn it into Blizzard, and hopefully they might get legacy servers going on. I have no idea. I'll try and get that link into the description below on my video on the channel, or this video precise. So and you guys can go check it out and say, or you guys want to have the legacy servers, and you can put your little signature there as well. So that's basically the sum up. We also did some other off-track stuff because Silver's complaining about his hair getting lost. He was being rude. He had to go sleep on the couch outside in the rain. By the way, how did that work out?
Not fun. I had to fight cats all night. They kept trying in order to sleep in my hair.
Yeah, cats will do that. They'll also, if you have a blanket, they'll start playing with your feet.
I didn't have a blanket, unfortunately. It was cold last night, too. My fur was wet. You know what happens to my fur when it gets wet.
That was pretty funny.
I came into the house, and basically, my fur was wet. I finally started drying it, and I puff up like Flufflepuff. Not funny.
He is like a bat version of Flufflepuff.
He is.
I am not Fluffy.
I'm surprised.
I am an elite
I am
warrior
surprised.
I'm an elite warrior of Luna's Night Guard. I do not do Fluffy.
You are Fluffy, sweetie. You're cute, Fluffy.
I'm surprised no one died of laughter. Even the princesses laughed.
I know. I couldn't bear to look at the princess. I had to hide in the bathroom for like 3 hours trying to brush this stuff down.
Oh, sweetie, it wasn't that bad.
It could have been shorter if you let Rosie
I got
in.
the nickname Silverpuff for a week. Or was it Silver Fluff? I don't remember. But regardless.
Well, yeah, they put it on a cereal box.
At least Night Echo was able to help you.
Yes, my little sweet Night Echo. She was able in order to find the brush I needed. Only thick brushes can honestly brush this much fur down. Hi, sweetie. I love you, Night Echo. Take care of Nocturne for us.
So, we said we were gonna continue a discussion today, and I completely forgot what it was. Cause today I was just recording some gameplay, so I could put it into the video, so you guys can watch some gameplay footage in the background of basically most of the day, what I was doing is checking to see if WoW was fine now, because there's been some issues going on with connection issues. I've been having latencies, I've been getting disconnects, and there have been some errors going on left and right and I wasn't the only one, so it's not on my end, and it's not on all these people's end. It was mostly on Blizzard's end, apparently. So we were all waiting. So basically, right now I'm just testing it throughout the whole week, and now there's gonna be a restart, and I'm looking at this for a restart tomorrow. I'm going, are you sure you should be doing a restart instead of like maintenance? Because this has been going on, and considering a lot, you're gonna want as much subscribers that you have, because a lot of them are just dropping left and right. I mean, don't you notice the hate that's been going on of late, and you really want to add to it? Don't add to it, because if you're gonna have hate, you might as well try and keep the ones you have. But if you don't acknowledge that you are wrong, you're gonna continue losing all of them. So I mean, even Luna understands, like, yeah, I admit I had done some wrong on my part out of jealousy, but you know, at least she took up the reins like a boss. Like a boss she is, like the goddess she is, and she tried to deal with it herself, true, but Jared did more harm than good, but she did manage to pull through. That's the important thing. She pulls through. Nice. I noticed you guys are typing something. Someone's typing something.
That would be me.
It's like,
Honestly, I still don't understand how you could use a keyboard with hooves.
Well, Silver dear, it kind of helps when I'm doing a lot of things for Twilight and Cadence nowadays.
she learned from Sunset.
Well, actually, I learned on my own.
That's amazing. Can you teach me that?
No,
I can
Why
do it.
not?
you'll break my laptop.
I've always wanted to know how to play on one of these things. I see Blaze playing on her computer all the time, and she wouldn't teach me.
Because you broke her last one.
Out of
That
all the things that she's broken of mine, the computer is the big thing.
well, computers are expensive, and
So are laboratories.
That was replaced easily, and quit complaining.
yeah, you pretty much work for Luna, so that's a big payment.
And besides, Hollymint was able to fix it for you. Um, I'm not sure if you know, but Hollymint is one of my little sisters.
What the
That's true.
heck was I hearing in the background? It sounded like something was falling over.
That is nothing.
Okay. Sounds like something was falling over. So, let's see, what else was covered? Yes, we were covering also Flurry Heart and mentioning over and over again about a certain video on alicorns not being as godlike as we were led to believe, between Laura and Faust being saying that there should be only be 2 alicorns, and now they're popping up. They're either being created or now there's being born, which I really don't mind, because since Cadence is already an alicorn, therefore it's already in her genetics, and therefore she could possibly give birth to an alicorn. And I made the theory, I guess you could say, on what the reason why she's got such big wings is because it could be emphasizing on Cadence that used to be a Pegasus before she became an alicorn. Although, okay, let's see what else we've done yesterday. If you guys are free to jump in and say what also happened last time.
Well, we also discussed about a little bit of a character development in season 5.
As well as, honestly, the different hates, honestly, not only just between that of alicorns being in Equestria, but also the development of alicorn OCs if done correctly.
Yeah.
The difference between that of alicorn OCs that are just considered to be Gary
Mary
Stews
Sue.
and Mary Sues, or those, honestly, that could be balanced like Rosie's.
There's good ones and there is bad ones, but just because you get some bad ones doesn't necessarily mean all of them are bad. Because it's like with a lot of things, like if one thing is bad doesn't mean everything is bad. That's like when I guess you could say that could go into also races. If one is bad, it means all of them is bad, which I do not go anywhere near that. I don't judge people by what they are. I'm just gonna judge by who they are, because as MMOs have taught us, as the preacher has said multiple times through his drama stories, is it doesn't matter what country you are, what faith you are, what belief or whatever, wherever you come from, there's always going to be a certain jerk. Doesn't matter where you are. Because if you're going to go by that logic, you might as well say, well, we are all bad. But then again, there is also good ones. Because it's these good ones that prevent the world from actually falling in on each other. Oof.
Very true.
So, another thing, and also I've also been noticing there's been a lot of like hate for hate's sake of late, but I'm just noticing this because on my end on World of Warcraft, there's been a lot of hate for Blizzard because of the Australia being shut down, and Blizzard saying they don't want to do legacy servers because multiple reasons, which I can say looks like they're pretty good reasons, and the garrison tables apparently being in Legion, but it's not the same as the one in Draenor because it's different. It's meant to get you outside in the world. This is just a little map to say go here or go there or something, and you're the one going there, not your champions or followers that's going there. Or they're going there too, but you're also gonna eventually end up going there. From what I'm gathering from this information, but people are just taking it to the extreme on, oh my god, it's 2.0. And so Blizzard is be getting a lot of hate because of this. Like, you guys suck, you guys changed, and it's not the game we used to play. And I can understand from their point of view because this is an MMO. MMOs change. They change through time and expansions, and everything's not going to be the same as it used to be. Because, like, say, I'm going to say Pokemon. Because if you, especially considering Pokemon just recently had the original Red and Blue come out, right, Silver? I didn't get any of it. I think I still have my old ones, but
It was originally that Pokemon had came out on February the 27th of 1997, and basically it just had its 20th anniversary just a couple of months ago. Pokemon Red and Blue being the first one.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, Rosie. Go on. Finish up.
Actually, I just got a little excited because technically speaking, I am playing Pokemon at the moment.
this is
I
because
really am.
yeah, because this is what I'm going for, because they re-released the old versions. Apparently it's how it was back then, just for the new system, but everything else is there. It's just you're gonna be playing on a different handheld device. It's the same game, different device. It's just like I get you're gonna be living your nostalgia with all the bugs, all the fails, all the hardships you had to endure. Me, if I were to play it, I'd probably just go through the same hell I've gone through, just picking my Charmander and getting my poor Charmander beaten to a pulp, and then constantly coming back until I'm able to actually defeat Brock. Because in all honesty, all those losses I've done in gym battles only made my Pokemon stronger, because once I got a few of the first Pokemon down, I still get XP. So they got stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually all that XP that's been gaining, I can eventually just... I'm done. Defeat makes me stronger.
That is true. And I will have to say, we also had a nice little argument with Silver. Well,
Charizard...
what kind of argument is about Charizard? Yes.
Yeah,
That's one
Charizard
topic.
not being a dragon.
No matter what, I'm sorry, guys, but I'm a Generation 1 kind of player. I love the original games, but Charizard always was and always will be a dragon. I don't care what anyone says. Argue it now, but that is my standpoint
I like how someone...
since Generation 1.
I like how someone in, I think it was Facebook, say that they were going like fire. We got fire, water, and grass. Which Pokemon are you choosing? And they went Bulbasaur, because Bulbasaur is like, it's a freaking dinosaur. And I'm going, and Charizard's
It's a what?
The Bulbasaur is a dinosaur. So I'm going, and Charizard is a dragon. So dragon will trump dinosaur.
Well, it technically yes and no. You see, the fact is that Venusaur, Charizard, and Bulbasaur and Blastoise were all evolutions of great prehistoric or reptilian creatures. Venusaur was a dinosaur with a plant on its back. Blastoise was a tortoise with hydro cannons. I mean, how cool is that? And then you got Charizard, who is a dragon with a fire on the tip of his tail. And basically, depending upon the setup, basically the games originally had an easy, intermediate, and hard setting. Both being the easiest one to start off with, because you could kill the first 3 gyms without too much problem, because grass beats rock, water, and electricity. Squirtle being the next one, because it can beat rock, it's equal against water, and has a hard time against electricity. And then Charmander being the advanced one, for those honestly that want more of a challenge, because he has no advantage against all 3 of the first gyms until you get to the 4th gym.
And therefore, no one can complain about me chasing Charizard, because I unintentionally went the hard mode, and I went the hard mode. I went commando throughout the whole thing, and don't worry, I wore pants.
Then you didn't go commando.
I wore pants, I didn't say underwear.
I retract my statement.
So, but
She got you there.
you wouldn't have noticed, because...
And I will have to agree. I I would say 50-50% of the time I went with either Charmander. Well, actually, it would have to be more like 85% Charmander and the other little bit, Bulbasaur. Now, don't get me wrong, I do love Bulbasaur, but I'm a Pyro kind of
See,
mare.
the thing that drew
Player.
me to Charmander was,
He's
I
a
got
cute little lizard with the fireball on his
I got
tail.
echoes going on. Let me move away my maybe that's it. Anyway, so what happened was before the old games is you had games that had elements in them like fire, water, grass. It's usually the fire element that got the bloody job done. It did something, it was effective, and it actually killed the enemies, while all the other elements were completely useless. In fact, I remember a dragon game I used to play. I did a earthquake on, I forgot what it was, but I did an earthquake, and I was expecting an earthquake to destroy what I was supposed to destroy. And unfortunately, it didn't, despite being an earthquake. And this cow, I saw this cow just running around, and the cow fell into the crevice. Only once the earthquake was over, he was automatically back up top, still alive. And I'm going, what? That's a magical cow to survive that. And then I come back and I use fire, and fire finally just burns everything and destroys it, including the cow. And so I'm going, okay.
Are you talking about Whitney's,
I didn't.
Don't say it.
I didn't play. Wait. If I may say, I didn't play the second gen when it was original because I don't really remember. I guess we just didn't get it. I know I didn't see the second movie when it first came out. But I didn't play the second games. I only played Blue and Red. I'm guessing it had something to do with school, so I was limited on that. So I can't say anything there. So that's why I guess Charmander was the one I continue to go with. So there's that, and then also I'm a fan of dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs since I was a kid, and I'll probably die loving dinosaurs. And dinosaurs at the time were seen more as lizards than birds. So Charizard was the obvious choice for me when I first saw him. So he's like a little lizard and then he's fire. So I am taking this and I'm walking away. So, and imagine my surprise when I see the little lizard become a bloody dragon, and I'm going, did my lizard just become a dragon? How did that happen? Like, imagine if you're actually in the Pokemon world and all of a sudden this Charmander suddenly becomes a giant dragon. You're like, I can take on the world. So, yeah, Charizard's always gonna hold a special place in my heart. I may have not been into Pokemon games anymore. I may not be enjoying it anymore as much as I used to, but this one Pokemon is always gonna hold a special place in my heart, which really saddens me when I see all this hate for him, and they're just saying, and I feel like people are just saying that he's not a dragon because he's not a dragon type, just to hate on him, because they're going, oh, he's not a dragon because he's not a dragon type. I'm like, oh, if we're gonna go by this, I thought typing was just a sort of element, not what these creatures are, because apparently someone's going Bulbasaur because the name says soar, therefore dinosaur, and I'm going, well, Charmander or Charizard is basically a lizard, and he also flies and breathes fire, so, and therefore it is sort of in his name, despite, you just gotta see the name, see his features. So yeah, he is a dragon there. So and then I also mentioned that also notice he said that that Bulbasaur was a soar based on his name, not his type. You could say that there's no dinosaur type, but time will tell. Time will. I mean, because people are also going about the old why Charizard is not a dragon. Some people are saying because he would probably be too overpowered because it'd be dragon and fire, and one of his weaknesses will be He'll also be a dragon that's strong against ice, or something along those natures. But then again, nowadays we got some Pokemon types that can combat dragons, and which is gonna be a problem for me because of the last game I played. I had all dragon team, Charizard being included. Of course,
Well, actually, Blaze, nowadays Charizard is actually considered even though we
Only-
consider him a dragon already, thanks to the concept of Mega Evolution that's in the game, Charizard is a fire dragon type, and he actually does not have a lot of the weaknesses that you would believe them in order to have because he's a fire and dragon type. Dragons usually have a weakness against ice, but thanks to his fire type ability, fire typing, he actually has only one. He actually that cancels out the weakness against ice. The only weakness that he actually has as a dragon type is just against other dragons. Not even the new fairy typing, which was combated in order to fight off against dragons, have little effect on him.
and therefore Charizard. The only thing holding Charizard back is the fact that if he does, he'll be too strong. So therefore, everyone's complaining about Charizard not being a dragon. Soon enough, probably, hopefully, Game Freak will make him a dragon. Maybe, maybe not. But I mean, official dragon. Because I mean, Gyarados is a dragon. But the thing is, though, I want to point something out here with Gyarados. Is he in the Pokedex Silver? Correct me if I'm wrong, please. If Gyarados is a flying water type. Oddly
No, you're correct. Gyarados is a flying water type, but originally it was meant in order to be a dragon type. But the thing was, you got back in the day in Gen 1, dragon types were considered to be the most powerful of all types because they did not have that many weaknesses except ice types. And even back then, there wasn't that many ice type Pokemon or many ice type moves besides Ice Beam. And so they decided in order to make Gyarados a water flying type, even though he was based off of a Chinese dragon.
Actually, it's complete Chinese myth on a carp that swims up a waterfall, turns into a dragon.
Well, yeah, but
I thought
Oh,
that was
yes.
pretty cool. So and yet even now, Gyarados is still that type. Even although with his Mega Evolution, he is now dark and water, which. Again, dark and he's not a dragon still. In fact, Charizard's now more of a dragon than Gyarados is because of the Mega Evolutions. And I'm saying that like that because it's Mega Evolutions. Oh my god, now it's supposed to. Mega Evolutions now says everything. Well, hello, Digimon.
Well, yeah, honestly, they did steal that from Digimon.
Although
And
Digimon
Well-
keeps going.
well, you got to remember that Digimon actually was stolen from Pokemon.
No, it wasn't. Technically speaking, it wasn't. That's what everyone wants you to think. It actually wasn't. It just so happens that the popular thing back then was capturing other creatures or so. And plus, people have been comparing Digimon and Pokemon too much, but the thing is, the differences are there. The only same thing is that it's got Mon at the end of it, and the thing is with Digimon, mostly in the anime, it's the tamers only have one Digimon, and in Pokemon it doesn't matter how close a Pokemon.
wait, did you just say Tamers?
Yeah, or
That's
Destiny, or Destins.
Digidestined.
Yeah, Tamers or Digidestins because in the third season, Tamer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as I was saying, in Pokemon, it doesn't matter because I'm not sure if you guys have seen the death battle between Greymon and Charizard.
Oh,
I
That
here we
reminds me
go
of that.
again.
trust me, I love Charizard, but even I saw that coming
Yeah,
and they
he
point out,
he got whooped.
and people are going like, why'd you choose Charizard out of all the Pokemon you choose Charizard, despite it being because we want to see two giant dragon things fighting each other. But here's the thing, even if it wasn't Charizard, Digimon have been just keep going and going and going. This is data we're talking about. It'll keep going and going and going until they combat the opponent. In fact, have you seen my team roster in Digimon? In my Digimon lists on Tumblr, have you seen them? In fact, one of them is able to take a whole row of Digimon because he's got his mouth that he's like a centaur. He's like a demonic centaur. He's pretty huge. This guy's freaking huge, and his mouth is supposed to be like some kind of black hole. So I want to see if how many Pokemon can handle that. Even Arceus, I guess you can say. Sure, Arceus may put up a fight, but I still have a whole bunch of other very strong Digimon just after him, just waiting to just pile in and pummel on him. Because these Digimon are not weakened by types, really. Sure, they got some weaknesses apparently in the game, but even then, they can still go past it. Because I'm going off of Dawn and Dusk here, because those are the games I've mostly played, even more than Pokemon. Sue me. And the fun thing about Dawn and Dusk that I just loved is, since this is Digimon and Digimon is not limited, you can make a Digimon in its early stage level extremely strong, about as strong as it would probably have been in Mega. Because what you do is you digivolve them, get them to as high as they can, de-digivolve them, continue getting them as high as they can. Because even if you de-digivolve them, their stats go backwards just a wee bit, but it will increase each time you do this. So you can make it really, really, really strong, and this is something I enjoy. Sure, there's a lot of grind fest, but then again, it's a single player game, and you can only go so far, unfortunately. But this is something that I actually found about the feature enjoyable, because I can have my favorite Digimon that I just love, Guilmon. I'm looking at you, you lovely, sexy red dragon, you. And I can make him as strong.
Guilmon.
What?
Oh my goodness! No! It's not about Guilmon.
Are you Gatomon or Agumon?
It's no. Wait, which one are you talking about?
She's talking about Guilmon from Season 3. Basically, when Tamers, Guilmon is the red dragon Digimon that was created in order to be better than Agumon by Takato.
No. It is not about Guilmon. It's all about Mega Garurumon. You gotta love the fluffy wolves.
Mega Garurumon?
I think you mean Metal Garurumon.
Yes.
Oh, wait,
Yeah,
Mega,
and Metal
Mega.
Garurumon is
Okay,
not
fine.
fluffy.
No, I think, or you mean Where Garurumon?
Metal.
Because
One or the other.
because
It's been years since I've seen Digimon. I stopped watching it after the first Digimon movie.
I continue to watch it. The only one I have not seen was the one apparently where there's more fusion going on or something like that. And another thing I want to point out with Digimon is the bonds between a Digimon and their human. I'm gonna say their human compared to a Pokemon and their trainer, because Pokemon and trainer, doesn't matter how close they are. Like say Ash, you suck. By the way, Ash, you are a complete noob. Every season, you are a noob. I don't care. You're a noob. I'm sorry, but I've lost all interest far from the anime, and then I lost interest in the games, and I'm just going, what am I doing? Anyway, so it doesn't matter how close the trainer is with their Pokemon. They're still basically I'm gonna say pet or so, because the Pokemon has to do basically what the trainer says. Because as one of the rivals have shown, even though the trainer will be a complete douchebag, sometimes the Pokemon will follow. Sometimes the Pokemon will still be,
Well, I will have to say, it was interesting when the humans actually turned into Pokemon. Or not Pokemon, Digimon. I don't
like
know
that.
what season that was, but it was interesting to me.
I think
It was Season 4, Digimon
fourth
Frontier.
One. Oh, that's so cool. That
Whatever.
was so awesome. Also, although it also was kind of the end of Season 3, because the Digimon and the humans merged together.
It was basically picked up from there. It was the idea that humans and Digimon had actually reached the ultimate stage of coming together as one through biomerge, and so it was considered in the next season, why not, instead of pairing them up with Digimon, why not just have the humans become Digimon?
Which is, I think, it was a cool concept. So, and then it brings me back to Digimon being as one. Digimon and humans, they're on equal playing fields. And let's not forget, Digimon are freaking smart. They can talk, they can just, I mean, think about in the Pokemon world. It's sure, sometimes it's the legendaries, but majority of the time it's the humans that are the bad guys, and the Pokemon are just doing what their trainer or their human is telling them to do. Not necessarily the Pokemon's to blame, it's mostly the person in charge, like, say, dog fights. It's mostly the human, not the dog. So, and in Digimon, sometimes it's mostly a bad one that's calling the shots, that wants to destroy everything. It's not until the human and the Digimon come together, because they're on equal playing fields, they are friends. They're friends. Also, I want to point out that
Now, this place. Who is your most favorite Digivillain? Out of all the villains, who would you say is the best one?
Oh God! Oh, there's a few there. It's just really, it's like, huh.
Well,
I'm gonna have.
How about a top list?
I would say a top list, but they're pretty hard to come by, but hard to number. But I'm gonna say the ultimate one I have to say was the most memorable was Deobormon, the one from the movie.
Oh yes, Deobormon. Oh, I'd have to say he is one of the scariest ones.
He's scary. He's he's clever. In fact, I'm not sure if you guys saw the other movie where he does come back, and what he does was, he just has one of him. And don't forget, in that season, the Digimon, they could die, but they just come back. Just their data just remakes itself. And
only in the first.
Yeah,
only in the first couple of seasons.
Yeah, the first. Well, not third one. Third one, they actually die. In the
Which I actually like that concept.
the fourth one, they I think they still did it. It's just if they take away the nursery, then they're just gone for good. And then I think the other one, they still did it. Only they had these special made Digimon by a jerk. Kills a Digimon permanently. They're not normally, they just rebirth themselves, but this guy, if these things kill them, then they're just gone forever, which is really sad. And this is another thing with Digimon is more mature than Pokemon. It's more mature. It handles mature stuff like family issues, relationships, all that stuff, loss. Because trust me, Digimon die and then they come back, sure. But in the third one, the girl lost her Digimon, and apparently she's been having trouble at home. So this just adds to her pain, apparently. So I'm not gonna say anything here, but basically you guys get this. I'm saying here it's more mature, other than Pokemon. Pokemon's just 10-year-olds running around the. That's like if you were to take every 10-year-old in World of Warcraft and send them on their way. I wonder how that would work out. Not very good. Anyway, so so that's another thing different with Digimon and Pokemon, because people are looking at what is on the surface. They're not looking deep within. That sets them apart. So, like, I want to also point out Yu-Gi-Oh! Because if Silver's gonna hit me with the Digimon copied off of Pokemon, because that is something I constantly heard in school, which was not true, and I still loved both equally because they both had their pros and cons. And Guilmon was just so cute. Sorry, I love Guilmon. I just love him. He's so cute. He also.
No.
I also want to point out.
I just Metal Garurumon. Or you know which one I'm talking about.
I want to point out also that Guilmon turned into like some kind of knight. Notice how in my name, my OC's name. Yeah, he's a knight basically, and notice in my character's name, Blazing Knight, even though she's black, but she's still cool. Guilmon's so awesome. I love him. So jeez, I'm going off track here. Where was I? Oh yeah. So this is something I had to deal with throughout school, throughout the whole Pokemon and Digimon hype going on when it first surfaced. Like everyone's going, oh, and also initiated the whole banning of cards and toys coming to school because the teachers just couldn't handle everyone stealing each other's stuff, and it was just insane. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah,
Times, good.
crazy.
It was crazy times, and so. And then and then I saw all this hate, and then all of a sudden Yu-Gi-Oh comes out, and I'm going, wait a minute, people are liking Yu-Gi-Oh, but they're hating on Digimon, and Digimon Season 3 had cards at the start.
Well, just because the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh's card game was a little bit more advanced than Digimon's was a little bit more complicated. The thing was with Yu-Gi-Oh, that was created from manga. There was a 7 series of mangas for Yu-Gi-Oh that it came out, and the original Yu-Gi-Oh's name was Magic and Wizards. In the volume 3 of that manga, that the creator Kazuki Takahashi had thought that the series honestly was getting very popular because of the card game within that third volume, and they decided in order to try to make a movie about it. Then the movie got popular, and then they made a game out of it, and that followed with the series.
Your mic is a little fuzzy.
It's very funny.
Is that any better?
Just a wee bit.
Not really.
Hold on. How's that?
Rosie, would you say that's better?
Well, you're both kind of not being fuzzy on my end.
Whoa, Rosie, you're also calling fuzzy. I wonder if it's me.
Okay, now I hear better, please.
Huh?
And now I hear both of you better.
Okay.
Awesome.
I guess it just goes in and out or something like that. I don't really know. So continue, please.
As I was saying, recap, Yu-Gi-Oh was originally created from a manga that it came out. And the third volume, it was called Magic and Wizards. That was the card game was called. It got popular thanks to the viewers that read the manga, and the creator Kazuki Takahashi decided in order to create a game over it, and then that game spun off of the anime that we know of today. At that same time, I believe the 3rd season of Digimon was starting in order to come out, which they were trying to produce their own trading card game, which they used the series for, and they actually took on a lot of different concepts that you'd never usually saw within an actual series of Digimon, like them actually fighting in the real world for once, and using the cards in order to amplify Digimons with abilities for which they normally couldn't. And the humans were actually more helpful within the 3rd season than they ever were within the 2nd season.
Yeah, it was. And this is where I am ticked off because people are claiming on Digimon copying off Pokemon when what they were not. They were not. And then Yu-Gi-Oh comes along and everyone's just going, "Yay, cars!" And I'm just going, you guys are dumb enough to go, "Oh my God, Digimon copy off Pokemon!" Yet you guys are going, "Hey, cards, really, idiots." But then again, you probably didn't see the 3rd season because you were going, "Oh my God, Digimon copycat." Oh boy, you guys are so stupid. I'm sorry, guys, but it just amazes me. And people call me slow. So I also want to point out that I am not really hating on Yu-Gi-Oh for this particular reason. I don't really hate Yu-Gi-Oh. I mean, what I will admit is I find Yu-Gi-Oh's monster designs really cool. It's just the card game is just not my forte. I am not a strategist, so this is not gonna work. Because when I see a card, I'm going, what am I gonna do with this? Give you a paper cut? Or I could just use my Guilmon over here to just come over there and start slashing you. And this is like, what, a dinosaur? This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Think of Jurassic World with the raptors, and this one talks. Actually talks. Sure, raptors apparently talked, but in their own language. So, and it's just so. I just didn't really get into Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't get into the cards. I'm not really much of a card person. This is why I prefer the Digimon style of cards. When they used it, because they used it to boost their Digimon, which I thought was pretty cool because the Digimon is actually moving. This is the thing that I guess would drop me away from Pokemon more and more, because I see I've been playing. I mean, I've been playing games where I've been going away from turn-based stuff, and I want to be able to move and use my abilities, not just stand there looking pretty. Cause I love Charizard, and I see that he's a dragon. He's very maneuverable when he's using his wings. I mean, he's a dragon. He flies around, and this is something dragons should be able to do. These are animals that should be able to move around and stuff. And this is the thing that I would love for sort of game for Pokemon where you can actually move. I saw the tournament. I may try it out. I may not. I do have Super Smash Brothers Brawl. I mean the Wii one. I do have that one. So I could give. I still play Charizard because of course Charizard. And this is the thing I sort of would love for like when I go on to adventure and Pokemon on the normal Pokemon games, where maybe you can just have the Pokemon actually, just fight each other like normal, like how you see it in the show, or I'm gonna say the Pokemon Origins, because that one was a lot more vicious, because it's actually Pokemon. They're animals. They will bite, and I can see Charmander be in pain when that Squirtle snapped on him, and I'm fully aware snapping turtle hurts when it clampers down on you. I've not been bitten by one, thank goodness, but I'm aware that it hurts. So I would love for something like that. So if Sun Moon does happen to do that, great, but other than that, I probably would just be playing it because you guys are playing it, and it offers the multiplayer stuff where you can play with people across the world, because this is something that every game now should be doing, because now people are going through the internet sort of thing, and